All right. Let's check things out here. Give people a second to pop on.
Oh, are we live?
And I think so.
Oh,
Trying to
okay.
get things going here and all the different aspects.
Mm-hmm. Hmm. So this will be an interesting raw conversation this week. Um, I don't know about you, Dana, but like Tuesday, I felt like I got the wind kicked out of my chest.
The sail taken out of our the wind taken out of our sails.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it was brutal. It took me a like a whole day to recover, and I'm a high energy person anyway. But just a really busy week, and last week things didn't go according to plan. I don't know if you could relate to that. Like, when does anything ever go exactly according to plan, right? No matter
Right.
what kind of a planner that you are as an entrepreneur, I don't know if you can relate to any of that. Like, you know what? I planned for this, this, and this, and it turned into a crap show, and nothing went according to my design.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
frustrating, right?
Which leads us to our previous conversation. When we say we have a plan, God laughs, right?
Yeah,
We
yeah,
we have a plan and God laughs.
yeah.
So
I have a dear friend of mine who he sends a wonderful biblical message every day through the phone. His name's Mike Bitter. He's awesome. He sends, and it says frog at the end, like, are you fully reliant on God? And it really makes you think, because it's like, you know, am I relying on myself, or am I seeking his guidance every day?
right.
And that is a really good question, because he did give us free will. And I will tell you, when I seek him first, my week goes, or my day, my week, my month, whatever I'm planning, right, goes wonderfully. But when I get in my own design and like want to do my own thing, not so much, right? Things get chaotic, they go off course, they get all jackhammered up, and they just go awry.
It
And
just
so,
becomes
yeah,
interesting.
it does. It's
Interesting.
very interesting. And
I was
so,
trying to get us to go live on Instagram, sorry, and it's not working. So
yeah,
we'll
no
just
worries.
again, it is what it is as we
Here.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this week, this Friday, so those of you that welcome back into Let's Get Raw Business Talk, I am going to put the link for our live. So if you are a business owner and you just want to jump in and say hey, or maybe ask questions to whatever things are coming up in your business, maybe Dina and I can help you strategize. And I'm going to put this in the comments. There we go. And just kind of move through things so you feel like you're moving forward instead of uh, moving forward together rather than alone. So for those of you that are new into our Uplevel Strategies journey, Adina and I have a CRM, a customer retention management system that we share with other business owners to help them bring all of their platforms into one space, to consolidate, to lessen the stress and ease the burdens of having to be constantly working in the business instead of on the business. And with Dina and I moving forward in this business, we've set a lot of real big, audacious, hairy, scary goals for ourselves. And as business owners, I feel like we all do that to a point, right? And
Yeah.
on the last several weeks or a couple weeks, I've referenced the book 10x is easier than 2x. And this Tuesday, as Dina mentioned, we kind of had ourselves like kicked in the chest or the wind taken out of our sails as we're moving forward, because we've set this big goal to help so many businesses to ease the burden and stress. And there's a lot of working cogs that have to be in place for those aspirations and those goals to become uh,
A
into
lot of
fruition,
vision,
right?
a lot of vision
Yeah,
too, right?
yeah,
You have to, you have to know where you're going to go in order to start the path to get there. Like nobody calls up the airline and says, "I'm going to take a trip." And then you're like, "Okay, well where are you going?" is the first question, right? Where are you coming from and where are you going? Like you have to know that in order to get on the plane, or you're not going to get
Yeah.
on the right plane, right? And so
Hmm.
very similar to that. Like we cast vision, we help you with your vision, we promote the vision. And so, yeah, go ahead, Dana.
And painting that picture,
Yeah.
because once you have your vision and you've got it all kind of laid out, or maybe you've got your bits and pieces of how you want to move forward, and painting that vision, but then bringing everybody else around you into that vision, because people around you aren't mind readers, right?
Mhm.
But the closest people to you aren't necessarily always the ones that are going to help you move forward. They're the ones that are going to give you the tough advice, right? Um, don't say this too much when you're live, or you shouldn't wear that color, it bleaches you out. Like those, like it
Yeah.
doesn't necessarily um bring light, but it is good, and it is good motivation. It's just kind of like, okay, how do I move past the outside of our immediate warm circle, bringing in this vision and painting it for our bigger audience so that we can bring them in together. So uh I listened to the Bible in a Year app with, oh gosh, now I'm gonna have to look it up. I shared it with a friend the other day, and it is the Bible with Nikki and Pippa Gumble, and it's got this little red app. And I had a conversation with my older daughters a couple weeks ago that was very humbling, and I don't know how many of you saw that live that I did, but so I listened to it, and being that we had a really rough start to the week, to end today with the topic of how not to worry. And I think that's really how I started the week out. Like, okay, we've got these things in place. What we've done is working, but it's not working to our bigger goal, right? It's not moving us, projecting us as quickly maybe as we anticipated. So to have that pop up today for my Bible in a Year app, it was, again, like, I have a plan and God laughs.
The soul
Like,
punch.
right?
Yeah.
Right? Like how to stop worrying, right?
Mhm.
Um, but in with Dina and I's business strategy, we as we grow, we're giving back to the communities and doing things, for the communities, and we have big scary goals that are uh a bit overwhelming to cause that worry. I guess that's where I've been, that Dina. And then talking to our business coach this week, he had a lot of really good questions for us that I was like, oh, I don't know. I don't know. I have to think about that question, right?
Yeah. I mean, and
Like,
really, really challenging us to think differently, and where we were was not going to get us to where we're going. And I
yeah,
think realization, like, okay, it's either the definition of insanity or the definition of persistence. Like, both are very similar, right? You keep doing the same thing over and over and over again, but is it working, or are you
yeah,
going to do the same thing over and over again until it finally works? Like,
yeah.
is it insanity or is it persistence? And so, then he challenged us, like, last week you didn't meet your goal. So what's going to be different about this week? And that was like, I told Dana I had 4 networking meetings this week that I don't normally have that many. It's usually just a couple, but 4 networking meetings as a total introvert. And then the soul punch from the coach was like, I was like, oh my gosh, like I feel sick, you know. And that doesn't happen to me very often. I'm a very high energy person. Like I burn energy just to burn energy. And so for that to happen, I was like, okay, I need to take a step back, and I need to, like, we need to strategize other ways, because we need to meet our goal. And how are we going to do that moving forward? He's right. What's going to be different about this next week coming up from last week, because we didn't
Hmm.
meet the goal? So what
Hmm.
are the tools we're going to do? And so, I mean, instantly you've got to think bigger in that moment, and you have to up level your strategy. You've got to challenge yourself. And so I love having a coach because it really does, it really pushes us to grow and stretch in ways that we probably wouldn't. And our coach is very biblical based as well. The whole reason he's helping us is because God put this challenge in his heart. And so I love that he, at the right moment, it's like the word of knowledge comes through and he says just the right thing to inspire, to grow, to
Mhm.
challenge, to create. And that's profound. Like that's profound in a coach. Would you
For
agree?
sure. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as business owners, if those of you that are listening, I would challenge you to ask yourself, what are you going to do different this coming week that you didn't do last week?
Mhm.
What are the things to propel and move you forward? Are you going to shift and change so you can start reaching these goals that you have for your business and painting your vision? Yeah. So I had a conversation. I stopped at my favorite coffee shop on the way back home from dropping kids off. I've got kids at school and I've got a sick one here home today. And we're always having light conversation. And they said, "Well, what are you up to today, Dana?" And I gave them a brief synopsis of all the things I'd already accomplished. And then I had to jump on with Dina and do this live and talk about the real aspects of business. And it was funny because she said, "You know what? Here's a story you can share." So she gave me permission. And she says, it's a cute little coffee shop. They have burritos, they have bagels. They always have a different treat for the day, but they also have an abundance of things. So you can get. So evidently, 2 or 3 weeks ago, an individual had stopped and ordered stuff and asked for butter, and they said, "I'm sorry, we don't have any butter." And he started dropping F-bombs and being just nasty and peeled out of the parking lot like he was on fire. And I thought, who did that serve? Like who? It just got me thinking. As business owners, right? We strive to please our customer, right? But if you strive to please the customer so much that you lose your integrity or your values, are you living within your full potential or your true authentic vision that you had painted for your business? So it's interesting because evidently this is a close by business and they've been sending a different individual to come pick up drinks because this guy has not showed back up, right? And so when he
Probably a
did
good
show
thing.
back up, they were very cordial and polite to him, um, but not overly friendly. And I guess as consumers of other businesses, small, large businesses, I extend the challenge to be kind,
Mhm.
right? So it may not have been the butter that day that set him off, right? It very well may have been a fight with his wife in the morning, or his job is on the line and he's high stress. Like, we have no idea. I don't even know who this individual was. There's so many people that pass through here, and as a consumer, take a step back, even though you're having a real shitty day, right? You can have a real crap day. And that small business owner is doing everything they possibly can to help you have a great day with the service they're providing,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
So, um,
With or without
with
butter.
with or without butter, yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah. So I think that's what was hardest for Dina and I this week was as business owners, we're trying to please the consumer, right, and keep them happy, and sometimes we fell short. We're falling short of our goals and the people that we wanted to connect with. So I think that was it was interesting how you know she just like share this story because it's real, it's true. We always
Mhm.
hear the good stuff, we never hear the bad stuff. We don't want to
Mhm.
talk about that.
Mhm.
Shh, keep that under wraps.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, but it was interesting. I
Very.
Yeah. So, um, what else, Dina? What else do we got? Oh, here's another fun thing. So our business coach extended the offer to us if we have 65 new accounts before, what did he say?
I think November.
1st of November?
I think it was November 1st. Yeah.
Yeah. That he will pay for a trip to the Philippines for us. Uh, and I thought,
Which we get
oh,
to
that's
do amazing things there, feed the hungry. We get to do some community strengthening events, just a lot of really cool stuff, as well as take in the sights because it's beautiful. There's like what 1,700 islands or more. So a wonderful thing to do, and that I mean that's really one of the reasons that I wanted a system for my business is to be able to travel more. I don't know about you.
mhm.
I really love being able to travel. We travel a lot, me and my family. I knew that if I could free up my time in certain ways and focus on the business in certain ways as well, this would allow me to feed both and
Yeah.
balance both out to where I feel like I have a life and I'm not having entrepreneurial burnout. And I can also, spend time with my family, but then also show up for my customers the way that I want to show up for my customers. And so
Hmm.
uh,
Hmm.
this is such a great way to bless other business owners because also when you free up your time to work on that 20% that gets you the growth and those challenges like we're talking about that sometimes are a little uncomfortable,
Hmm.
that growing and stretching happens and then you become bigger. You then can do more in the community. You then have an outreach. You have a mission, whatever it is that God laid on your heart here
Hmm.
to follow and present and you know pay it forward. You get to do
Yeah.
that. And so yeah,
Yeah.
I love that he put that out there for us. And I was like, all right, Dana, we got to help 65 people.
Right.
What do we need to do to help 65 people? So we
Yeah.
are looking for um, strategic partners. We are looking for those that know people that need help with their marketing and systems to free up their time. So if you know anybody in that arena, we would love an introduction. Maybe it's you. We have amazing rewards programs, we have partnerships. We are all about community and growth. And so,
Yeah. And building
and
a network
building
of like-minded individuals that
mastermind.
are lifted in faith and integrity who are looking to grow in their space. Yeah. So, and we do offer that podcast as well. So we want to broadcast any businesses and spotlight your growth that you are having or looking for.
Mhm.
Um, you're looking for those introductions, right? Get in front of
Yeah.
those different spaces so that we can start having these conversations and get your vision out to the world and known. So yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we covered a lot in a very short time. It always feels like, what are we going to talk about when we jump on here? And then 30 minutes flies by and we're done. Like
Right.
we've covered a lot of things, a lot of things. So each Friday we do this. Let's get raw business talk. If you're interested in joining us, honestly, it's dependent on the day and meetings and what time we're going to go live. But if it's something that you're interested in, and we can get scheduled so that you can join us to talk about the things that get real hard and tough in your real life day-to-day business, message us. You can message us personally. You can message Dina Wolf, myself, Dana Tesher, or our business Upleveled Strategies
Mhm.
on any of those platforms. I will be posting the podcast link. So if you're interested in getting onto the podcast and building a network of individuals who are looking to lift, grow, and inspire together, we are excited to have you on board. So
We
with
have
that,
seats at
I
the
think,
table.
right, right. I
Yeah.
don't know if we can, yeah, I don't know if we can extend this table. I need to figure out how to get more seats at this one
We
because
have
it's a
other
really cute
tables.
fall decor, right?
This is
Right.
cute. Yeah.
We'll just expand it into a bigger conference table as
There
we
you
grow.
go.
So, yeah.
So,
All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining us today, and we'll talk to you again soon. Take care. Bye.
Bye.